What's going on, everybody? Just wanted to drop another video about some things I was thinking about in the realm of photography. I wanted to let you guys know about the channel and like what I plan to do with this. It's gonna be some gear reviews, things like that, but a lot of it is also going to be about like my thoughts and philosophies around photography in general. You know, how I approach things, the way I see things like creatively, and the way you know, I keep myself motivated to get out there and, you know, create and you know, fulfill myself like artistically on that side. But yeah, I was just thinking about something today that that I think not really many people talk about enough, and that is not giving a shit what other people think about your photography or anything that you do in general. I strongly believe that when it comes to creating anything, the only way that that's going to be something truly different and truly significant is for it to be based in truth. And the only way that you can make something that's authentic and based in truth is to not listen to anybody. It's really, really important, or I feel it's really, really important not to have external outside influences that come into your mind that make you doubt the things that you're drawn to. I feel like nowadays it's so easy with the proliferation of smartphones and, you know, how cheap full-frame cameras are getting and Instagram and all that. It's very easy just to get your hands on a camera that produces good images and then just go out there and start shooting, look on Instagram or Pinterest pages and just copy the ideas. I mean, it's not that, be honest, it's not that difficult. I mean, photography is not really that difficult nowadays. It used to be that we were considered like magicians and we were considered like wizards and we could do all these crazy things and people looked at photographers like, wow, that person's like super, super talented. It's not really like that anymore because it's getting easier and easier just to go and just, you know, get ideas from other people and then go create that stuff. So I feel like you can look at it in two ways. You could get really bitter and you could start to get upset with the whole industry and just be like, you know, attacking people and ideas and, you know, just get fed up with photography in general. Or you could just drown it out, put the blinders on, and try and create things from an authentic place. There's always going to be people out there that bite other people's style, that see something that's popular, see something that's trendy and sexy, and just try and break that down and do exactly what they see from somebody else and make it their own. There's always throughout history been very, very few people that have looked at art as something that they have to do because it's an expression of themselves, something that they're driven to do because they just need to create something. Like for me, I have always been, you know, I've been more on like the depressive side or heavy side with my mental and thought processes, unless I can go out there and create something and actually express myself. And it's not for, like, I deleted my Instagram page. You know, I don't look at other wedding photographers' work. That's one thing that I'm big on is I don't want to contaminate the things that I feel like I'm drawn to. So if you approach things from a perspective of, okay, I'm going to move into this situation, this shoot, whatever, and I'm just going to follow what interests me, and that could come out terribly, or it could be something amazing and different. But the most important thing is I'm following like what I feel is true, and I'm following what I'm drawn to naturally. That's the only way that you're ever going to create anything that's of value and that's truly different, timeless, that transcends all the other mediocre stuff out there, because it's too easy. Just, I could go on Instagram or Pinterest right now and just find 50 shots that I like, save them, screenshot them, and go to my next engagement shoot or next wedding, and then just like look and just be like, oh, I want to do this one, create it. That's easy. I could do that. But A, it's going to be boring for me. It's going to drain me. I'm going to internally fight with myself because I know that it's not authentic, and it's not going to be any fulfilling work, and eventually I'll just get burned out and stop doing it. But there's a lot of people out there that are okay with doing that, and they're going to charge less money than you, and that's just the reality. I mean, there's always college kids out there that have dissected this stuff, or, you know, adults that know how to use the internet and that, you know, have some money and they can get some, you know, gear, and they figured it out, how they can just produce, replicate images that other people have taken, and, you know, somebody getting photography, they're not going to know any better. But that's not what it's about. If you really want to do something different in this world, you cannot listen to anybody. You cannot let other people's works or insights or information contaminate what you feel like you're drawn to. That everybody, I believe that anybody who's interested in creative work has an internal compass, and if you listen to it, it will guide you into a direction that separates you from other people. It's going to take development. It's going to take a lot of failure. It's going to take a lot of trust in, you know, being okay with sucking or, you know, failing at an idea. But it's the only way to create something that's going to stand the test of time, and that's going to separate yourself from the competition out there. Photography is not an area that you want to be competing on in price. You just don't. Like, it's not an area that you want to be, you know, looking at other people's prices and just trying to be cheaper. That's no way to run a creative business, and there's always going to be somebody out there that's going to be able to do it for less than you. So I see it as a situation where if you want any longevity in this business, if you want any work of substance that's going to create something that you're proud of and that's actually going to move people, it has to come from a place of authenticity and truth. And the only way to do that is to go towards what you're naturally drawn to and develop yourself in that direction and block out everything else. I think that, you know, all the gear and the things that we need. I mean, I shoot, you know, like most of the time with just this little point and shoot, this Ricoh, and I just, you know, that's what I have on me 99% of the time. If I'm doing paid work, I have the Z6 and I have 4 lenses, you know, and I could, you know, buy pretty much any lens that I want. But it's all about simplification. It's all about getting myself to do work, to go out there and to shoot and to ask myself what I'm drawn to, go to the things that I'm interested in, and create work like that. It's not about trying to be better than the next person and seeing what everybody else is doing and then trying to, you know, get in that. The competition mind state with this stuff, where it applies to this, is not the way to separate yourself. You should not be competing with anybody else. You should be listening to yourself and following what you're naturally drawn towards. So, yeah, I wanted to touch on that because I feel like nowadays a lot of photographers are worried about the encroachment of other people who just get their hands on some gear that's decent and then go copy the images, and then, you know, they all of a sudden they have, you know, they're getting business because they're charging less, and then they're, you know, just basically copying other people's work. There's no creativity in it. That stuff has always been there. It's coming, like, you see it more now, especially with the internet and, like, you know, how fast things spread. But there's always been people like that. If you want to be different, you have to block that stuff out, and you have to just follow what you're naturally drawn to. Come from a place of authenticity and truth, and if it works and you create something amazing, you're going to have an unbelievable sense of satisfaction that's going to show in your work. People are going to naturally be drawn to you. Like, I had a bride that that came to us. Me and my wife, we shoot together, and a bride came to us and said, you know, I didn't even consider anybody else. As soon as I saw your work, she had seen us before, you know, she got engaged. She knew she was going to have us. We were the first vendors that she went to, and it wasn't about price at all. It was about the fact that she was drawn to the images because, you know, she can't find that stuff anywhere else, you know. And I'm not saying that we're, you know, like amazing or, you know, we're artistic geniuses or anything like that, but we strive to come from a place of truth. We don't look at images and then try and prepare before photo shoots by like, oh, let's get this pose that this person did, or let's do this. Like, we connect with people. We are intensely focused on the moment and the people's stories and what's going on, and then we let it evolve and develop and follow the ideas and the creativity as it comes. And that's the only way that I see that you can separate yourself in today's environment and not compete on price, because that, man, today that's a suicide mission, I feel like. But yeah, tell me what you guys think about this. You know, leave it in the comments or whatever, and you know, subscribe to the channel. I want to get some dialogue going with you guys, and I want to have like a place where we could talk about these ideas in an authentic way, and you know, we can get away from all the gear reviews and like the pixel peeping and all that stuff, and connect with why we started photography in the first place, and what makes a good piece of art, what makes a good piece of work that you can deliver to somebody and know that it came from you in a place that was real. So yeah, tell me what you think, guys.